Exclusive. I'm Padmisha Joshi. It was a terrifying 10 minutes inside and outside the Lok Sabha today for all those present. 4 people, 3 men and a woman carried out what looked like a coordinated intrusion into Parliament. First, colour sticks was set off outside the main Parliament gate by 2 people, and then 2 men jumped into the well of the Lok Sabha from the visitors gallery above. The entire chaos unfolded even as members of Parliament looked visibly taken aback by the men who were jumping into their midst. In fact, one of the attackers jumped over several tables until he was finally overpowered and handed over to the marshals. Yellow smoke was seen enveloping the entire house. It turned out later that the accused belonged to Haryana, Maharashtra and Karnataka and had come to Parliament apparently in order to raise awareness against unemployment. At least 2 of the men who were caught from inside the Lok Sabha are engineering students and hail from Karnataka. They carried some smoke sticks with them and also had some kind of chemical hidden inside their shoe. First, listen in to what one of the protesters said about the motive of the attack. All 4 of them since then have been arrested. They have been interrogated by the Delhi police. A high-level meeting was first held between the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and the Delhi police, and subsequently an all-party meeting was also held by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, in which a complete briefing was given to them about the security situation, but a real security breach and the fears about what could possibly have happened. Remember, one of the men who was arrested, who is from Karnataka, who is from Mysore in fact, but currently residing in Kanpur, had a visitor's pass which was issued from the office of Pratap Simha. That naturally has led to a political face-off between the opposition parties and the BJP, with the opposition asking them, how is it that such a massive breach was allowed to take place in a parliament building that was inaugurated with such fanfare? Inside the house itself, inside the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge said that the Home Minister should be asked to come and give an explanation about what happened, to which Piyush Goyal replied that politics should be avoided at this time. But what is really interesting are the visuals that emerged of members of Parliament who eventually overpowered one of the men even as he tried to escape, even as he released the yellow smoke from the chemical that was hidden in his shoe. At least 6 to 7 MPs were seen first tackling the man and then bringing him to the ground, and they narrated how it was 10 minutes of absolute terror and chaos inside the Lok Sabha.
जो हमारी भारत सरकार है, जो हम पे ये अत्याचार हो रहे हैं, हम अपनी हकों की जो बात करते हैं, लाठी चार्ज करके हमको अंदर डाला जाता है, टॉर्चर किया जाता है, तो हमारे पास कोई माध्यम नहीं था।
कोई डायरेक्ट वजह है, कोई वजह है किसी संगठन से हैं आप?
नहीं, हम किसी संगठन से नहीं है, आम जनता है, स्टूडेंट है हम, क्योंकि हम बेरोजगार हैं। हमारे माता पिता इतना काम करते हैं, मजदूर, किसान, छोटे व्यापारी, दुकानदार, लेकिन किसी की बात नहीं सुनी जाती। ये हर जगह हमारी आवाज को दबाने की कोशिश करते हैं।
All right, the news just coming in after the security breach. The Lok Sabha Speaker has written to the Special Secretary Home. Om Birla has written on the breach, has lodged an FIR at the Parliament Street Police Station as well. All 6 suspects have now been taken into custody. We know that 4 people were taken into custody earlier and subsequently 2 more were picked up for being accessories to the crime. They are accused of having helped provide logistical support, having provided a place to stay to the accused. Now remember, one of the accused comes from Hisar. She is about 42 years old. The other 3, 2 of them hail from Karnataka, and one of them hails from Maharashtra. Let's also get a quick update on this letter that has been written by the Lok Sabha Speaker to the Special Secretary Home. अमित कुमार is joining us live. अमित, क्या चिट्ठी लिखी गई है और क्या मांगे सामने रखी गई हैं?
देखिए, जो चिट्ठी लिखी गई है स्पीकर की तरफ से, ओम बिरला की तरफ से स्पेशल सेक्रेटरी होम को कि जो ये घटना हुई है इस पे जो लोग भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व हैं, जिनको पाया गया है, जो तस्वीर में थी, उनको लेकर गंभीरता के साथ जांच की जाए और इसको लेकर एफआईआर दर्ज किया जाए, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही गंभीर मामला है जिस तरह से ये हुआ है और इस घटना को बड़ी गंभीरता से लेते हुए चिट्ठी लिखी गई है। और साथ ही साथ सिर्फ चिट्ठी नहीं लिखी गई है, बल्कि सदन के भीतर ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग हुई थी जिसमें कई तरह के सुझाव आए हैं। फ्रिस्किंग के अलावा जो कहा यहां तक गया है कि पूरी बॉडी स्कैनर लगाने की बात हो रही है, इस तरह के सुझाव भी आए हैं। साथ ही साथ तमाम जो एंट्रीज है, जो विजिटर्स पास है, उस पर फिलहाल रोक लगा दिया गया है। इसके अलावा एमपीज और एक्स एमपीज के जो पीए हैं उसकी एंट्री पर भी फिलहाल रोक लगा दिया गया है, क्योंकि इस पूरे मामले की जब तक जांच नहीं हो जाती है, सिक्योरिटी मजबूत नहीं की जाती है, क्योंकि अलग अलग जो गेट्स हैं वहां पर किस तरह से एमपीज की एंट्री को एक स्पेसिफिक किया जाए कि ताकि एमपीज जो है किसी एक खास गेट से जाए, उस गेट से किसी और की एंट्री ना हो। इन तमाम चीजों को लेकर स्पीकर ने बात की है। तमाम दल के जो नेता थे, फ्लोर लीडर्स थे, उनके साथ उनकी बातचीत हुई है शाम के 4 बजे और उसके बाद ये तय किया गया कि चिट्ठी लिखनी चाहिए और स्पीकर ने स्पेशल सेक्रेटरी को चिट्ठी लिखकर इस पूरे मामले की गंभीरता को लेते हुए एफआईआर दर्ज करके एक्शन लेने की बात की है, उसकी डिमांड की है स्पेशल सेक्रेटरी होम से।
All right. Let's first tell you now who are the 4 suspects who have been identified and all 4 of whom have been taken into custody almost immediately. The first person we are talking about is Sagar Sharma. Who is Sagar Sharma? He is the man you see on your screens who jumped down from the visitors gallery wearing a dark colored jacket. He jumped over at least 3 tables. He is said to be a resident of Mysuru and it is in his name that the visitors pass was made, which was issued from the office of Mysuru BJP MP Pratap Simha. Along with him was Manoranjan D. He also is a resident of Mysuru. He is 35 years old. Both of them are said to be engineering students. Mysuru, like I said, is Pratap Simha's constituency. Maybe that's the reason why, because they are locals. They were issued a visitor's pass. Both of these men were inside the Lok Sabha and they were the ones who set off the smoke bombs inside the Lok Sabha. Now the other 2 who have been arrested, who were arrested from outside Parliament, Neelam Kaur. She is from Hisar. She is 42 years old. And Amol Shinde is a resident of Latur in Maharashtra. Naturally, all of their families are completely shell-shocked. They are saying we have no idea why they did what they did. Amol Shinde's parents are saying that he said, I am going to participate in an agitation, and today they stand accused of this high-profile security breach.
हाँ, नीलम मेरी बड़ी दीदी है सर। वो हमें तो पता भी नहीं था कि वो दिल्ली गई है। हमें तो यही पता था कि हमने तो वो हिसार में छोड़ रखी है स्टडी के लिए।
अच्छा, बेरोजगारी की बात उन्होंने कही तो घर पे इस तरह की बात करती थी? बेरोजगारी का मुद्दा है, आज भी उन्होंने संसद में ये कहा कि बेरोजगारी का तो सर उन्होंने कई बार मुद्दा उठा लिया। जैसे यहाँ पे किसान आंदोलन में भी गई थी, वो उनके साथ ही थी, किसान आंदोलन में भी किया उन्होंने। तो सर बेरोजगारी तो है ही, आपको ही पता है। तो ये कब से इस तरह के आंदोलन में भाग लेती थी? पहले
नहीं, सबसे पहला आंदोलन इसका किसान आंदोलन ही था बस।
तो ये आपको पता चला था दिल्ली गए एकदम से?
नहीं, इसका नहीं पता था मैं। अब हमें तो बड़ा भाई जो कुराना रहता है ना, उसका फोन आया था कि वो टीवी ऑन कर। बोले क्या बात होगी? बोले कि वो नीलम अरेस्ट कर ली वहाँ पे दिल्ली।
सर, ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಪಪ್ಪ ಹಾಗಂತೇಳಿ ಹೋದ ಸರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಅವನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗೇ ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್. ಅವನು ಬಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ತೋಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋನು. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ ಸಿಂಹ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಭಾಳ ಬೇಕಾದವರು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ವೋಟರ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಮಗನ ಸೊ ಇದು ನಡವಳಿಕೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಈ ವರ್ತನೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಖಂಡನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೇ ಮಗನಾದರೂ ಈ ಥರ ಕೆಲಸನ ಯಾವ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಇವತ್ತು ವಿಧಾನಸಭೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಲೋಕಸಭೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸೊತ್ತು, ಯಾರ ಸೊತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಆ ಸೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನುಗ್ಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಖಂಡನೀಯ, ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಪಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅಪ್ಪನಾಗಿ.
All right, so a total of 4 people already in custody. Tell me this, Bhavtosh, what is the motive? Is there any information about the motive behind doing what they did?
Well, Padmaja, the questioning and the investigation are still at a very initial stage. It's just around 5 hours since this incident has happened. But it appears that they all joined hands, or at least they all met on social media, post which they decided to carry out this incident. And what we have gathered, again, I will repeat that these are initial information subject to verification, and that's what being done, is that they wanted to carry out an incident which is very similar to what Bhagat Singh did in April 1929, and they in fact were inspired by Bhagat Singh. They wanted to highlight and raise issue of unemployment and joblessness. One of them, Sagar, was in fact a BTech student of an engineering college, and that's the reason why two similar incidents happened. One outside
so done in coordination. In fact, more details being broken by our colleagues. 7 suspects are on the radar. Man called Vicky Sharma and his wife also detained in Gurugram. Now, what is this Vicky Sharma angle, Priyank?
See, Padmaja, he was the one who was owner of this building, which is in Gurgaon, and that was the location which was opted by these suspects to stay there. One more person, Lalit Jha, is also under the radar of the police investigation, who's yet to be picked up. So basically, the illogical reasoning which was given by these suspects, that they were not known to each other, has been totally ruled out by the police investigation. Interestingly, these suspects were not carrying their mobile phone. In fact, those who had protested outside the parliament also, they were not carrying the mobile handset, which is certainly a thing which troubled the police officials at the initial stage, because that could have given them clear clue regarding the location where they visited, what was the location, what was the ideology, whether they were part of any kind of particular group or not. But so far, after almost one day, almost half a day of investigation, these are the basic factors which has emerged during the course of investigation. But
so the motivation still remains very, very hazy. It's going to be a long night, especially for the Delhi police, not just in ascertaining what was the reason behind such an attack and intrusion, but also to explain how such kind of a breach took place despite this being a highest security area. Thanks very much, Priyank and Bhavtosh, for joining us. Let me go across to Member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress, Kakoli Ghosh Dastedar. Ma'am, can you describe to us the exact moment? Where were you? How far were you from this intruder? And what happened?
See, it was past the question hour, and we were in the 0 hour. Things were being discussed. Honorable Speaker was not there. There was a chairperson. I guess Rajendra Agarwal ji was sitting there, and 0 hour was going on. And I was about a block away from the gallery from which they jumped down. Suddenly, I heard a thud. So I looked up and I thought somebody had fallen off the gallery. The gallery is about 2-storied high. So whatever you all are saying that they wanted to, I was listening to your commentary just now that somebody wanted to highlight the unemployment issue. Maybe that's a very severe issue which has affected this country. And this is maybe an all-time high for which the government is accountable. But I don't think it is that easy, because to jump down from a 2-story, 3-storied high building into the Lok Sabha, where we sit for our business, is not an easy task.
So you're saying that there could be something more serious, something more dangerous.
Definitely. It needs a lot of practice to jump down from that height, which is about 2-storied high, to jump down and fall on your feet or hand, whatever, without bones being broken. It took a lot of practice. Some terror organizations or the army, military, they have this kind of practice, so
we're just being told, ma'am, we're just being told, and these pictures are on our screen also, that there were some books that were recovered from one of the men, Manoranjan, who was in the visitors gallery. Now, apparently, he's got books about India's armed struggle for independence. He's got a book on Che Guevara, Sun Tzu, The Art of War. There is also some books of Dongri to Dubai, fairly innocuous, though that was non-fiction. But do you think that there could be, a terror angle perhaps involved in this? And why do you have such an apprehension?
You see, somebody would not risk their own security, won't jeopardize their own future by coming into the parliament like this from a different route. They came into the visitors gallery using a pass issued by the signature of a Bharatiya Janata Party member of Karnataka. And they jumped down from the gallery into the Lok Sabha during business hour. And like I told you, I sincerely believe that they must have had some kind of a training, some kind of a recce before this. Otherwise, it's very difficult to jump from that height. And then immediately after jumping, without bones being broken, he got up, the first man. And he jumped down to you can see the chairs where we sit. In front of our chairs, there are tables. Though he started running on those tables. That also requires a lot of training and practice, that kind of avoiding hurdles and running.
So what happened? Once he jumped down, did the marshals rush in? What happened immediately after?
This is total lack of security, breach of Parliament House security and the security of the members sitting inside. No marshal came. I was the first person to shout, the police, security, koi aa gaya, but nobody came. And immediately after him, another person jumped down. Then I knew this is kind of a terror attack. Because there is more to it than you're saying.
Were they shouting something? Were they saying something? Because I saw this man running around.
They were shouting.
What?
They were shouting slogans, which we didn't hear because we are a little like a block away from that. We are in the opposition benches and they jumped down near the middle. Not exactly in the treasury benches, in the middle. And after jumping down, he just got up immediately and started running over the benches towards the speaker.
So he went straight into the treasury benches?
In the middle, sort of in the middle. And between the treasury and the opposition, he was towards the middle of the thing. And immediately he started running, just like hurdles. On the benches that we sit and on the tables that we write on or keep our stuff. So he was running on that and immediately after him, another second person jumped down. Then I knew something was wrong.
So did the second person also throw some kind of smoke stick or did
he had something in his hand which he didn't jump down with because he was handing on to the railing. He was, actually catching hold of the railing of the visitors gallery when he dropped down. So his hands were empty that time. I saw. He dropped down and then he pulled out that thing. That could have been inside the house. That could have been on himself. It could have been inside his trouser. He pulled it out and he shouted some slogans and pulled out or put on a light or something and it started smoking.
Kakuliji, just hold on for a second because you are a member of parliament. The member of parliament in whose name this pass has been issued, Pratap Simha. Now he has issued a clarification. He apparently met with Mr. Om Birla. He met with the Lok Sabha speaker.
He should be expelled. He should be expelled because his signature has intruded the sanctity of the parliament, has endangered the people's lives sitting inside, that is the MPs. So this person must be expelled.
Let's quickly go across and find out from my colleague what Pratap Simha told to the Lok Sabha speaker. Kritsween, over to you. I'll come back to you, Kakoliji.
Okay, before we talk about Pratap Simha, we'll of course talk about his reaction as well. But here are some very interesting reactions from the opposition. And lastly, I'm going to take you through the reaction coming in from the BJP. Pretty much sums up the BJP sentiment towards the opposition with regards to their set of criticism. But this one is from All India Trinamool Congress Padmaja. BJP took a proactive step in getting Mahua Moitra expelled from Lok Sabha. They must now show the same proactiveness in expelling one of their own. The TMC has been very, very vocal about it, has been talking about the Mahua Moitra example in demanding action against the BJP MP from Mysuru. Priyanka Chaturvedi, UBT Shiv Sena MP, says I'd raised security concerns on 2 occasions via letter when during the special session we had sloganeering from the visitors gallery yesterday in the 0 hour regarding Khalistani terrorist Pannu's threat to attack the parliament. Sadly, all our suggestions are looked at with contempt since it is being raised by the opposition. It's a serious breach of security and national shame. Jairam Ramesh of the Congress says the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha kept accusing INDI parties of politicizing the shocking and appalling breach of security within Lok Sabha today. A reference to Piyush Goyal, but he had no answers to serious questions. And here's how the BJP has responded before I quickly take it back to you. Lest we forget, Congress tried its best to save Pakistani terrorist Ajmal Kasab, says C.T. Ravi of the BJP.
Okay, let me quickly bring in Aishwarya as well. Aishwarya, what are you hearing about Pratap Simha's expedition? What did he say?
Well, Lok Sabha Speaker is still in his chambers, and he had called Pratap Simha, who later was also being questioned by the parliamentary security personals. To Lok Sabha Speaker, Pratap Simha stated that this particular individual, who was an intruder, his father belonged to his constituency, and he was requesting for visitors pass, and therefore he was in touch with his PA and his office for a very long time. Pratap Simha later stated that he do not know anything further that how this particular individual jumped from the visitors.
Let's put that to Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar. Ma'am, you yourself are a member of parliament. Isn't it possible that it wasn't in the knowledge of the MP, and because they are from his constituency, the PA issued a visitor's pass?
No, the PA cannot, because the signature has to be the MP's. And when you become a member of parliament, a lot of responsibility comes on to you, because you are part of the whole democracy. You are part of the security of the country. If they say that Mahua Mitra giving the password out is national breach, then this person, particularly, I don't know his name, this Bharatiya Janata Party MP giving out passes to people who might be terrorists, because they're jumping from the visitors gallery inside and they are bursting as something called smoke bombs, look like smoke bombs, could be toxic, could be anthrax, could be bio-war. So we were sitting there, the MPs were sitting there, it can be biological warfare. So he has to take responsibility. The MP has to sign, then the form goes to the CIAC, the Central Pass Issuing Authority, and then they issue the pass. It's a long-run procedure.
Okay, so serious questions being raised, because this is our parliament where our elected representatives sit. And remember, today was also the anniversary of the attack on parliament, a horrific moment we will not forget. Serious questions need to be asked and answered about who allowed this to happen. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks also to my colleagues. Quick break.